What is going on, YouTube? Pass the prop back here yet again. It is a Friday show. It's going to be a little bit quicker today. We got two spots for you guys today. Full 15-game MLB slate. We got a couple NBA playing games to finish that up. But joined as always by my guy, Stu. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain too much. I apologize for making us a minute late here. Just been a very hectic week for me. But yeah, overall doing pretty good. Excited for some more playoff basketball tonight. Curious to see those matchups. And obviously, like you said, we got a huge MLB slate. I've not even looked at the MLB slate yet today. I'll be doing that after the show. So I'm going to have to rely on you to carry a little bit there. But yeah, excited to dive into the props today.
Yeah, no, it's these are the fun slates, man, for me, because you get a lot of different options. But yeah, I think we each got one spot for you guys today, and feeling pretty good about it. So I'm gonna kick it over to you for a recap on NBA. Honestly, I didn't watch either of the games. I saw that Heat game was a good first half and a shit second half, and I don't even remember the other game, to be honest.
Unfortunately, I got reverse swept in this one. Kevin Huerter, no points in the first half, 10 in the third quarter, and then nothing after that. So Huerter misses here. This one was annoying to watch. But yeah, no dice for Kevin Huerter. And then the other one, Mitchell got the job done. I haven't checked how many potential assists Vucevic had, but man, every single time he passed someone the ball, it was a shit show. So that was a bummer. Really liked that spot a lot. But Vucevic, unfortunately, did not get the job done. So rare reverse sweep for me. It was a bummer. I really love my plays too. You know what I mean? I was really in on them. So it happens sometimes. But yeah, 0-2 for me. Luckily, you carried us in the MLB here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like we ain't got units to show for it, right? I mean, we're still right there and feeling good on those. Yeah, it was a good day. Fate of Bubic. Again, I tell you guys, these buy-down spots, you kind of got, I love them, man, because the Yankees ended up with 4. It was plus money, 120 if you wanted to bet their actual team total, and that's why the books make a ton of money, man, right there. Yankees had 3 runs in, the first 3 innings and then just kind of chilled for a little while, put on 1 at the end, and I just like getting these Yankees in these spots where they're not that big of favorites. Last night, dude, getting Taj Bradley. What are we doing, bro? Minus 110 on the Yankees facing Taj Bradley last night. Ridiculous, dude. That was a hammer, bro. What are we doing? I don't understand how the Yankees. I mean, I don't like the Yankees, but they're getting a ton of. I feel like they're getting a bunch of shit in the market, and I'm like, dude, these guys are cooking. Marquez, you know, did what Marquez was expected to do in that spot. So, Dodgers doing their thing yet again, and just continuing to show that the MLB is very top heavy with Rob Manfred being the worst commissioner in the history of sports. So good with him never being allowed in there again. Who's got to get rid of that motherfucker, man? It's tough to watch. And then the other one, Robbie Ray, 2 walks, Kramer 4 hits. I said Robbie Ray made that one very non-sweaty. I mean, he had 5, 6. Yeah. I had to track it at action on 2.5 because they don't let you buy down walks. And I'm like, dude, if he gets 2 and I get this and I lose it because I can't buy it down, I'm going to be pissed. But that was not an issue. I think he had 5 or 6 in that game. And I told you that Phillies matchup was tough. That Phillies team is playing very good baseball right now. They looked awesome yesterday. Shout out my boy Christopher Sanchez. You knew I played him yesterday as my best bet yesterday as well. The dude put up a 12-piece, 12 strikeouts, full dozen on there. That was awesome to watch. And then Kramer ended up with just 4 allowed. I was very surprised to see that, but I was talking about his walk rate. He had 3 walks. That really, really ruined the pitch count. But luckily, Jose Ramirez does what he does and puts up fucking numbers, man. And love that guy. So, yeah, very, very happy to catch that one pretty easily.
Yeah, no, the Ray one was funny. I mean, the 5 walks, it's one of those, he talked about laddering him multiple times in the past. I wish there were more options for that, because he would be the prime contender. So shout out to Robbie Ray. He did his job. And like you said, Kramer, a little bit more sweaty, but hey, cash the ticket. That's all that matters. Good read right here. Good 0-2. It's nice. It made me back a little bit of money that I lost in the NBA.
Yeah, we're closing in on double digits already in the first 3 weeks. So, yeah, MLB's continuing to cook, and yeah, I'm hoping I can keep this run going. Hit my one yesterday. We're rolling into today, and hopefully we can get a winner for you guys. So let's smash it over to you, Stu, here. Again, I have not looked at any NBA. I think my only NBA bets I've had have been yours on the show. I have not bet anything else outside of my obligation to bet Sabonis triple-double just because I kind of have to, and then he just fucking sucked. So I'll kick it to you, Stu, to talk about this NBA slate.
Yeah. I wouldn't have even I don't like betting on Sabonis at all, but I wouldn't have even hated triple-double just because I figured points matchup was so brutal there and like you'd have to be passing all day long. But yeah, I mean, that game went as bad as expected. It when we talked about it on the show last, I said like I'm taking both dogs here. Like I don't understand the prices on either one. And the Mavericks 6-point underdogs against the fucking Kings. The Kings? Really? The same Kings, the same core of Levine, DeRozan that we've seen fail all these years? Like, I don't know. That was so odd to me. And once again, the Mavericks, their lineup is insane. Like 4 6'6" guys, not even running Dinwiddie at point guard, Brandon Williams coming in making buckets. Like, I love the Mavericks just because whatever, it's a shit show. Like that whole team is a shit show. So I'm excited for that game. I'm really curious. I wish Kyrie was playing so bad. I think Kyrie AD would
They'd be so good, dude.
Yeah, that's like a legit like West contender right there. So it's a bummer that there's no true point guard, but like the Grizzlies with Ja Morant injured. I mean, he's banged up. He rolled his ankle. He's going to play most likely, but he's probably not going to be at 100%. That's a bit of a difference maker right there because Ja Morant, obviously a guy that can put this team on his back at times. I mean, I think Desmond Bane, if you're betting points on anybody, like a leading point scorer or a ladder or something, Desmond Bane needs to go insane if you think the Grizzlies are going to win tonight. So I don't mind the Mavericks as dogs. Again, I think it's funny. They're pretty much the same price as dogs against the Grizzlies that they were as Kings. I think that's probably the Ja Morant not being 100% playing into it a little bit. But yeah, I would have to lean the Mavericks in that game as dogs once again. I think they're going to put up a good fight. I think that team defensively is insane. And if you can make it a dogfight, if you can make it ugly, then you can beat any team in the league. That's why people say defense wins championships in any sport for hundreds of years. Because if you can, stop their guys from making shots, that's the key to the game right there. And it plays in with the Heat Hawks game as well, obviously. I took Miami as underdogs. It's the same logic. I like what the Bulls have been doing, but there's no way I'm trusting those guys as favorites. Now, Miami's a favorite, 1.5-point favorite, nothing too extreme. I still think I'd probably have to back Miami for a lot of the same reasons, like defense. And if they can grind you out, if they can make this game ugly, then I think they're going to win. And the Hawks on the other side, or I guess the thing that you have to consider is Tyler Hero went off last game. I mean, extremely efficient, making every shot. Minimal dribbles. Like the guy was awesome. Like if you're talking about like a advanced analytics performance of the year, that was one of them. Like just pure efficiency, doing his job. So the real question is, are the Hawks going to be able to limit that? Like, can they force Tyler Hero, like doubles, make life miserable for him? Maybe. But what have we known about the Hawks all year? They're one of the worst defensive teams around. You can speed the pace up on them. You can make these guys look dumb. And they got Dyson Daniels. He's a dog. Great defender, fantastic in the steals department. But I think that's kind of the key to that game. And if you do get rid of Tyler Hero, then it gets a little bit ugly for the Heat. Like, who has to step up? Is it going to be Wiggins, Bam, like a Duncan Robinson kind of name? Like, it gets a little ugly. So I don't know if I'm going to bet the Heat. I was a lot more comfortable with them last game. But as small favorites, once again, it's got to be Heat or bust for me just because I think their style of play can make life really difficult for the Hawks, especially when you got Davion Mitchell on Trae Young for likely 30-plus minutes in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know let me know, guys, if it's just me. I don't know if I'm hearing you as well as I have in the past. I don't know if it's just like buffering a little bit. But I don't know if it's just something there. Let me know if that's just me on my computer because I could definitely be mine because my computer has definitely been in and out on these. But yeah, I think my thing for me is I always just bet Atlanta Hawks first half, bro. It's just like I bet the first half overs every fucking game. They can't play defense, bro. Like I don't think it's physically possible. Then you toss your best defender and he leaves, right? DeAndre Hunter, he's their best defender. He's gone. They don't give a shit about defense, bro. Like I love these dudes for taking first half overs. Miami seemed well obliged to play the first half in that fun pace, and then that second half putting on clamps in that fourth quarter. I saw that the Bulls have like 12 points. They have 12 points in that fourth quarter. It was ridiculous. They just finally locked them up. But 113, that might be my spot just because I've been betting them ad nauseum. Them and the Bucks, dude. And that's why when I told you I haven't bet the NBA in however long, but I played my biggest bet of the year in the NBA on the first half over when the Bucks played the Hawks. It was just everything came together. Like what more could you ask for? Those have always been my spots there with the Hawks. Like you said, you reiterated, it was really, really bad defensively. Dude. They are so bad. Like them and the Bulls. My God, dude, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, when you got Trae Young out there, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to be a good defense. So
I can hear you perfectly now, by the way. Like this is so much better. So much better.
Okay, great. Okay. Good. I'm glad. But yeah, no, I agree. I think the first half over is good. The only issue I would say, we just saw the Heat at like max performance, like hitting every shot, looking great. They don't do that every game, So if the shooting comes back down to earth, that's what scares me, I guess, on like who steps up for the Heat, But I do agree. I think the Hawks have a way of making you look great on offense no matter what.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think those bigs should be able to do really whatever they want, dude. Like, I love Onyeka Okongwu. I love those guys, but man, they should have absolute field day with him, bro, in the paint. So let me kick it over to you, Stu, and then it looks like we have an NBA question in there, and I'll kick it over to you for this best bet for today.
Sounds good. Just tweeting it out again right here. We got a defensive parlay covering both games. We got Anthony Davis, 2 blocks, Davion Mitchell, 1 steal, -118. DraftKings, FanDuel, it's good on both of them. And yeah, I'll start with Davion Mitchell just because we talked about that last show. I'll probably be playing 2+ steals once again. Davion Mitchell, one of my favorite defensive targets in the league, absolute dog. He's a little bit undersized as a point guard, which could be his only issue sometimes, but Trae Young, being a smaller guard, is obviously the exact kind of matchup I want to target him in. Last game, we saw Davion come off the bench, but he still played 30 minutes in that game. Alec Burks played 17. It would really piss me off if Alec Burks started again. Like, that would make no sense to me. Maybe it happens. Maybe we see the same 30 minutes. But honestly, I think 30 minutes is the floor. I think he could be in 38 to 40-minute range because we saw it at the end of the season for Davion. Like, that wouldn't even be a surprise. Obviously, when you look at all the stats, averaging over a steal per game, he's been crushing this. Recently, I'm not really worried about the hit rate or any of that. He's just a fantastic defensive player. And Trae Young is a guy that passes more than almost anyone in the league. I believe he led the league in assists this year to the end of the season. I'm not sure about passes made, but it would be incredibly surprising if he wasn't top 3 in passes made this season. So pure volume standpoint, they're going to have him on him as much as possible. It's a great stylistic matchup. And Trae Young, as we all know, you love the guy, you hate the guy. He's still someone that turns the ball over. Like, that's not really something you can debate. Like, he's a little bit turnover prone, and that's part of the game when you handle the ball at the level he does. So last game, Mitchell steal was -300. Now it's -350. I still don't think that's enough of an adjustment. I would have it in the, -450, -500 kind of range. So until it gets there, I'm going to keep playing it as a parlay piece. I'm going to probably have it paired with multiple different things tonight and just hope for the best. I mean, I think he gets 2 steals. You can get that at plus money, but 1 is just such a safe benchmark for the guy. He got it last game, obviously. And Anthony Davis on the other side, I mean, I was surprised his 2 blocks was -115 last game. I was a little too scared to play it as a big money straight. Instead, I just parlayed 2 blocks and 2 steals with Mitchell, and Mitchell only ended up with 1. So didn't quite cash there, but I absolutely loved what I saw from Anthony Davis. I mean, I don't think there's any debate whether the guy's like healthy. He played 35 minutes. He had 3 blocks in that last game. When you look at this lineup, obviously the Grizzlies attack the paint. Like, the Grizzlies have been a great team to target for blocks for years because Ja Morant is one of the most aggressive driving point guards in the league. You got a guy like Desmond Bane who obviously can make threes, but is a guy that can drive as well and get to the paint. You have a guy like Zach Edey who's essentially a statue in the paint and is going to be a fantastic block target, especially considering this new coaching staff plays him 30 minutes a game for no fucking reason. Like, the old coaching staff had Edey as like a guy that could easily get cut down heavily in minutes. But this new staff loves Edey out there. And there's some pros in the rebounding department, but there's a lot of cons as well. And I don't think this is a good matchup for Edey at all. When you got to go against Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford for a guy that can't stretch the floor, I mean, that's crazy. They allowed one of the lowest points in the paint mark last game against the Kings, only 40 points in the paint total. I would expect that to be sticky once again. It's just a brutal matchup right here. And once again, Anthony Davis regular season blocks, I'm not really messing with. In the postseason, when this guy's healthy, he's a defensive monster. He's probably one of the 5 best defensive players in the league when he's at 100% health, when he can protect the paint. I mean, it's like Rudy Gobert plus. The problem is you just get it for 5 games a year. So it's really hard to like hype him up all year long. But I think that's kind of showing in the pricing. So you get a fantastic defensive guy that, by the way, gets permission to roam around because you have a guy like Lively right there. You have a guy like Gafford there who's going to be able to protect you. You can let him roam. You can let him use his instincts and go for blocks. You got a guy like Edey who's going to be a fucking statue in the paint. You got a guy like John Morant who's one of the most aggressive drives per game guy in the league. Like, it's just going to be a great situation for blocks. And once again, had it last game, had 2 in both games against the Grizzlies in the regular season. I don't see why he wouldn't continue to put really good block numbers up. And honestly, when you go through his game log, he has plenty of 5, 7 block kind of games. It's kind of like walks in the MLB, and not too many books will post ladders. But if you can get him, I think it's a good ladder opportunity because if Jaw's healthy, he's going at the paint all game. There's going to be opportunities for like 5, 6, 7 blocks in this one, and he's shown the ability to do it before. So love this parlay right here. Both these guys are fantastic defensive players. I think you're getting a great price on the combination.
All right, so you're making me go look at it, see if my book offers those. Yeah, I'm getting plus money on 2.5. 4, and this is offshore, so obviously these odds are probably dog shit. But like 4, I'm just happy they offer it. 4 of them is plus 300 I can get, so maybe it's a spot. That I look at 5 is plus 900.
That's better than FanDuel. Funnily enough, FanDuel's 750 for 5, and then 360 for 4. So
yeah, interesting. Maybe one to look into. Shit, now I'm gonna have to fucking deposit extra money in. I just withdrew today from the book, and now I'm like, fuck. Now I'm going to go back in. God damn. All right. Is what it is. Let's get to some actually, I saw a question before we switch over to MLB specific. Stu, any thoughts on this? Do you see Connolly getting reduced minutes in this series? Obviously, DiVincenzo in NAW, much better defensively. Not better than like the old Mike Conley, but he is old, man. He's got some dust in those knees, bro. So any thoughts on this? Something that maybe we look forward to maybe betting some props a little higher on some of those guys.
Yeah, it's honestly a fantastic question. It's the tricky part because you nailed it. DiVincenzo and Walker Alex. I actually think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is one of the most underrated defensive players in the league. Once again, when you talk about guys like him defending SGA, I think is always fantastic. The length he has, I believe they're cousins as well. So like you do see him pop up in a lot of these series where his defense is needed. My big thing is like what specific guy is Walker Alexander going to guard? Like, maybe Luka, I guess, but there's no like great fit in this matchup for him. So personally, I love him, but I'm going to have to see the minutes come first. DiVincenzo is definitely a good look. The problem with DiVincenzo is that guy is hot or cold. So I'm either betting 5 threes or nothing. I don't want to bet 1.5 threes at minus 180 or whatever it is, or make it in a parlay. You know, he's a guy that when he gets hot, he comes out there, he makes his shots. But when he doesn't, the minutes are going to be hurt as well. So what I'm trying to say is like Conley, logically, this does make a lot of sense. I see exactly what you're saying. And I do think that could happen, but they've shown a real propensity to keep him out the court, especially when they're closing. They love his veteran leadership, his distribution skills. I would not be surprised if he actually sneakily got more minutes than people expected. Because I would not be shocked at all if I saw some really smart guys, the prop bombs, these guys of the world, actually put out the unders for this exact reason. And I see why. I just think there's some like intangible, some like leadership stuff and some past tendencies that the coaching staff has shown that I wouldn't even be surprised if Conley's out there more than people expected. But I think that's a fantastic question. And the real answer is it's probably going to be a bit of a minute shit show from game to game, ride the hot hand kind of situation, which is pretty tricky to bet on.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We appreciate you, Thomas, as always, popping in here and asking questions. I'll get to your question. I see you have an MLB one in there as well. But, yeah, guys, closing in back on that 20-unit mark, going back and forth, but hopefully we'll be able to get back over it tonight. So, heading over to MLB, we got a 15-gamer, man. This is, I mean, not much more you can ask for. In these, we have some studs. We have day games finally. We got some absolute shit shows out there. But yeah, I mean, I like a lot of these games. I think my favorite one is anytime I can watch Sandy Alcantara healthy is a good day. I always like to see him pitch. My Brewers get to face Oakland at home tonight. Oakland now good. They now are just hitting tanks, but it just makes you think like what would they have been last year? These last couple of years if they wouldn't have played in the worst ballpark in ever. Now they have like a hitter friendly park, and it's like, damn, dude, you're seeing some pretty big numbers here from their hitters. Obviously, Tyler Soderstrom, I tweeted out last night, is he just the best player in baseball? Shout out to him, though, cashing my ticket. I had an Oakland A's team total over 4.5. He did cash it. They were kind of stumbling on 4. He gets out there, hits his 9th home run of this early season, passing Cal Raleigh. So that is obviously cool. You get your team in Coors Field tonight, so that's obviously something big, but pretty low total there. So it must be kind of cold because I would assume it's not great hitting weather if it's only an 8.5 total. I know Gore's been good, but really heavily relying on that breaking balls kind of worries me a little bit. So anything from you, Stu? I'm assuming you're probably going to the Nationals game.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, I made 2 bets last night. I bet McMahon homer for the Rockies and then Wood homer for the Nationals. But the weather is shit, like you said. It's like absolute shit. Apparently, it went from like hot to like almost snowing out there in Coors. So be careful on the homers. But I agree. I wanted to fade Gore a little bit. I was thinking like maybe a first 5 team total over because Gore has been good. But like you said, when you're so reliant on that breaking ball and you've had power issues in the past, and you then maybe have to really rely on that fastball. I know Colorado sucks, but hey, the Nationals just woke up the Pirates lineup. Maybe they can do it to 2 teams in a row. So the weather does scare me. I haven't checked it since people told me it was shit this morning, so I'm going to trust them. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Nationals and Coors, 2 garbage teams. Hopefully we can make some money on that.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot, but yeah, I like Gore as a pitcher. I just don't think this is my favorite spot to go out and bet him, or really any pitcher for that matter, out in Coors. But yeah, let's get to my bet. Hopefully we can get our 5th one in a row on the show here. I'm going with Cole Reagan, 6 strikeouts, and I'm going to my guy Martin Perez, 5 hits allowed at -118. I've really been liking these hits allowed numbers. I thought about Michaelis, but I don't know, man. Michaelis has been kind of getting me lately. I haven't gone to him lately, but let's talk about Reagan's a little bit here. Facing off against Detroit. And mind you, Detroit is, again, I talked about it, top 3 team against right-handed pitching in WRC+. Pretty much in every right-handed pitching category, they've been really, really good. I will say they are strikeout prone against lefties. They have a 26.5% K rate against left-handed pitching, 95 WRC+. We just haven't been able to see, those lefties in their lineup that have been their power guys, the Riley Greens, the Kerry Carpenters, just haven't seen them hit the lefties that well, right? And that's just, I mean, obviously something that comes hard when you have a, high-end MLB dudes throwing upper 90s from the left side coming at you. Tough spot for them. And mind you, this is a fun spot for me because obviously I like Cole Reagan's quite a bit, but my God, dude, this guy has been lights out. They're probably only putting out 2 lefties, right? And that's something good because actually, Cole Reagan's has been better against right-handed bats this year than against lefties. And I'll go into a little bit of detail here on why. Cole Reagan's, as of right now, has a 39.7% K rate against righties this year. 40%. 40%. That is absurd against the opposite side. It sounds like slouch numbers when he only has a 28% K rate against lefties, which, again, that is fucking crazy. That is elite numbers. But on the season right now, you're seeing him sit towards the top, I think, top 7% of the league with 37% K rate. I talk about luck. Well, he's got luck coming his way. He actually has a 2.28 actual 1.7 expected. So we're expecting even better numbers than what we're at, which when it's that low, it's hard to actually get better. So sign me up for Cole Reagan's. I do love that his pitch mix is kind of switched up. And this is something I always look forward to, around this time of the year when I'm betting on guys and I find guys that I like. Cole Reagan's cut down his cutter usage, which is important to me because he went from an 11.5% cutter usage last year down to a 5% this year. And cutters are pitches that are not meant to be swing and miss pitches, right? That's not what they're used for. They're used to get ground balls and get balls off the barrel. And Cole Reagan's cut that down, took all of it and said, fuck it. Let's send it right to my four-seamer. I'm running at 96, and I'll just blow it by you. And I love that. I love that. 27% whiff rate on that four-seamer. He throws it 51% of the time. But what that has done has made that changeup the most filthy pitch in his arsenal. 51% whiff rate on that changeup, boys. 51%. That is elite numbers, dude. That is crazy. One in every two swings is a miss. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. And coming behind him is that slider that he's using quite a bit against lefties. So just doesn't have a ton of sample size this year against lefties because they just don't put him out there because why would you? This dude is legit and been throwing it right by dude. So I think Reagan's 6 Ks is going to be pretty much a part of everything that I played today that I need a parlay piece for. This feels like a really tough spot for this Detroit team. And especially when you're having to, play into a park. I know it's on the road for Reagan's, but Reagan's on the road this year in 13 innings pitched, has a 1.4 ERA, has 20 Ks in 12 innings, repping a 42% K rate on the road. So sign me up. I think he absolutely nukes these dudes tonight. Throwing that parlay piece together, I like Martin Perez as a fade today. And the reason is I just don't think that this can be sustainable. There's a lot of guys that, kind of get me, right, that are like, okay, he doesn't throw that hard. That's fine. Whatever. It happens, right? These guys that kind of get guys out, like your Brent Suitors, right? Like those guys that just don't throw hard, but find a way to get outs. Martin Perez has not had over an 18% K rate in 3 years, and now we're going to expect him having a 27% K rate now? Are you kidding me? Like, how is that? Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense. This guy's going to jump up 8 percentage points? Fuck no, bro. So that is not going to happen. He's faced Boston, who doesn't hit lefties well. He's faced Detroit, who I just mentioned does not hit lefties well, and the Twins stink. So those are your 3 numbers. And lastly, the last thing I will say is we just talked about sample size and teams being better against certain numbers. He has a 1.59 ERA right now with a 3.96 expected. Here it comes. It's time for it. It is going to be an absolute light show today. Sign me up for Martin Perez to get absolutely lit up against this Red Sox team. Red Sox so far this year have been striking out a decent clip, but it does have a 100 WRC plus there and a 252 batting average so far this year against lefties. So sign me up. There's no chance this is happening again.
Yeah, it's been weird where it's been like a sneaky good year for these like veteran, like crafty lefty guys, or even veterans in general started off pretty strong. But I agree. We faded Martin Perez in this show for years, man. Like literally years. He used to be the profile picture, the thumbnail like 2 years ago, like almost every show. So
Fade City, boys. Fade City.
So I'm with it. It's obviously, a guy, he's been the same guy for a long time. Like, it's good that he's having some early success, but I think the regression's coming. And I'm with you on Reagan's, obviously. The projections I use normally hate high strikeout numbers, like in general, like the numbers just hate getting to it. And even they love Reagan's today for overs as well. So I love to see that. I love to see your analysis. And yeah, I like the combo, a little bit of regression on my guy, Martin Perez right here.
And this is my last thing I'll say because I know I got to get rolling here a little bit. But Martin Perez has, let me check. We have 10 years in the league right now if we're going to count this one. He has 1 season above 20% K rate in his career. He's under 15 in 7 of those years, bro. And now we're going to just think a 27% K rate is going to come out of here, bro. God damn. This is asking for me to hammer Perez, under Ks, everything, bro. This is going to be just an absolute light show, bro. Sign me up. I might even take the lefty on lefty Tristan Casas nuke today. That might be one of my guys that I go to. Because I do not like I don't like a guy that's that relying on his changeup going lefty there. But I do have to make sure we kind of move a little tiny bit quicker here, just because I know I have to run. But Justin, what's your thoughts on Abbott? Orioles team total first 5, 2.5, or full game 4.5? They are the home team, so they may only get 8 at-bats. I will say if I'm taking anything, it would be full game. The Reds just played an absolute shit show game last night with how many bullpen arms who sucked and had to throw 25-plus pitches in that outing. So I am definitely going towards the full game because I do not trust that Reds bullpen tonight at all. Drug test coming for him. That'd be a bold one there. We're gonna go drug test a guy who's throwing 88. No, never mind. Sorry, I'm actually giving him speed. His cutter is 85, and his sinker is 88.2. So
there you go.
He's actually lost velo by 2 miles an hour and is just gaining whiffs, which is just absurd. I am not gonna go on specific spots here. I think that this is just an absolute shit show of a game. Maybe I'll just take an over for the game. Maybe I'll do a buy down for the first 5. But these numbers are absurd, guys. Like plus 200 for 7 or 8 different dudes for a homer. Oh, dude! Like we're taking dudes against Corbin Burns. Like Colin Rea. Yeah, he fucking blows. But the only thing he does well is getting ground balls. That's like the only thing he does well. Like he just throws a fuck ton of sinkers and makes you hit ground balls. I get it, but yeah, I'm not taking specific guys. I think betting plus 200 or less on a home run is absolute insanity. And if anything, and you like these spots, I would just take a 2 RBI on a single guy, right? If you're really that confident in a person.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if I'm getting plus 327 on those two, that means both of those guys are what, sub 120, sub plus 120. So no thanks.
Oh, that's disgusting to think about like that. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like I try to find value. There's like 15 games a day. We got huge slates every day. I'm trying to find things that are off. They know what's going on. Look at these prices. They know the fucking weather. We're not pulling one over on them. Everyone's plus 100 for a home run. So when I see shit like that, I'm like, okay, someone else can solve this puzzle, but I'm not going to be the guy laying plus 200 on homers or plus 110 on RBI. You know what I mean? It's just not my specialty. So good luck in the Cubs game for anyone betting it. Maybe, like you said, some 2 RBI, some like unique ways to attack it. Maybe that's how I'd look at it. But otherwise, I'm probably just going to be on the sideline rooting for you guys to hit, your 8-leg home run parlays or whatever.
Yeah, and not to say that you can't win these, but like how many times do you see these people just like throwing 10 homers or whatever, but no, no, plus for RBIs, but I'm assuming they're like plus 110. Like that should not be a thing. Like
you can get a Dodger almost every day for plus 150, a Mookie, a Teoscar, you know what I mean? Like, and they're the Dodgers, so.
And they're good at baseball.
Yes, exactly.
And their team is all on base. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not taking both. I would take one of them for 2 RBIs. Pick one that you like. But why would I bet homers when I can just bet 2 ribbies, bro? If you think this game's getting out of hand like this, do that.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
man.
I took one thing I saw my guy Sammy, I forget his Sammy G Prop, something like that. Great MLB guy. He posted Arizona over 1.5 home runs at like minus 120 or something. You're not betting the individual player, just a team full game home runs. That seems unique, different. I don't hate that, but I'm not going to pick a plus 180 homer tonight, probably. And then the guys, maybe you can get a good price on like Jake McCarthy, who hasn't hit home run in like 3 years. Maybe Jake the Snake gets it done for you. I don't know, but probably a pass for me. I'm rooting for it though. But yeah, the prices are just too shit, for me to bet on right now.
All right, so let's get a quick recap in here, and we'll get this rolling. I don't know if you have a long shot, but if you do, we'll get that in there quick too.
We got Anthony Davis, 2 blocks, and Davion Mitchell, 1 steal, minus 118 on FanDuel and DraftKings, both of them.
I'm at minus 118 as well for Cole Reagan, 6 strikeouts with Martin Perez, 5 hits allowed at minus 118. Stu, anything else from you here before we get into the slate tonight?
No, I mean, like I said, the Davis blocks ladder is solid. I haven't bet this yet. I probably will put a couple bucks, and this could be really burning money. Duncan Robinson 3s ladder. He hit that corner 3 last game in the center's face. I forget who it was. That was a nice shot. Duncan's he's out there to pull 3s. And if they actually do stop Hero and Wiggins isn't awesome, you guys need somebody to score. Like, somebody needs to put up shots. And Duncan can't really do anything else but put up shots. So probably a small bet in his 3s ladder, but just, he could play like 7 minutes and have 1 point and do nothing and get played off the court. Like very possible for Duncan. So I haven't bet it yet, but I think his threes ladder will be something I get a couple bucks on before we get out of here. But that's really all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, I got nothing else for you guys. So we got, I will say we're pushing almost 30 units on combined here on basketball and baseball very short into the season. So if you guys could, please hit that like button. We got 30 of you guys still in here. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that and help support us as much as you can. We will be back on Monday. Yeah, we should be ready to roll for that. Just make sure you guys follow to make sure for the times, because I know I have to do a little earlier work as well, so it might be a little bit different time, but we'll get that when we get there. So have a happy Easter, guys. We will catch you guys on Monday for another round. I'm assuming there's NBA that day, so he might not be playing today right now because he left for his kid being born. I know he was out last game, so that might be why on there. He's on the bereavement list or paternity list, whatever it is. So yeah, he probably will not be on there today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you Monday, and best of luck on all your bets tonight.